What's going on, MSFers? Doolem here, back again with another video, and today we're going to be talking about some complaints from Reddit. We're going to be talking about where Purple ISO has been. We're also going to be talking about some war feedback and where you can use Phoenix Force in Cosmic Crucible, because I know a lot of people have been asking and can't figure out good places to use them. But first, we're going to talk about no character blitz this week in the game currently, and it is still like this. So if you hop in game here, you'll see this is just the Sunday or blitzes, and they're not running, they're just on review, but there's no character blitz right now. And for a lot of us, this doesn't mean anything because it's like 700,000 gold, woohoo. And then it's character shards we don't need, so it's just Ultimus food. But for newer players, this is super, super important for their progression in this game, because they definitely need these new characters. Like, this is really important to them. And the gold is not a lot, but it's not negligible. It's still 700,000. So still no blitz at this time of recording this video. This is 7:30 in the morning on the 18th. So still nothing going on here. Next up, we got some war feedback. So I played this game since its release and had a little break at the start. But what drew me to this game was activities and how much there was to do. I agree. There was a lot to do, especially when the game... when you first pick up this game, especially after it's been out for a couple years, you got a bunch of Dark Dimensions to catch up on. You got War. Now we got Crucible as well, so there's a lot to do. It's my favorite, and how much there was to do. The character building and War. So War was this guy's favorite game mode. Wow. Okay, good for him. It's my favorite game mode, and I know a lot of players that feel the same. It's a core part of this game, and they have stupidly reduced the amount of wars now. I feel the game is worse than better. None of the other game modes come close to feel of War. People in charge need to change it back. And I'm indifferent about the War change. I don't care about War very much, so the change is honestly in my favor. But I understand where this guy's coming from, because they just took War out, and they didn't add anything to the game. So they literally just took an extra war out, and they didn't add any more gameplay. So I know Battle World is starting in about 8.5 hours, but it has been said that Battle World is only running once a month. So where are we getting more gameplay, more engagement when we're removing this war? You would feel like they would pull like an Indiana Jones, and they'd take War out and then put in like trials over the weekend, or put in like scourges, or put in like maybe a kiln tower or regular tower or anything to kind of give us something to actually want to play on the weekends. And then other people are saying that, hey, no, this is great. I don't want to play on the weekends. I want to enjoy my weekend, and I want to stay off. And not have to worry about it. I prefer it this way. Weekend was great. No war. Hop on for each free energy reset. Hop on, do arena, raids, and CC, and done for the day. 30 to 45 minutes of playtime. I will take it. Now, if you're not in a super competitive war alliance, then guess what? War doesn't take that long, let me tell you. But this is because War takes a super long time for a lot of super engaged, super sweaty players, which is why I'm assuming it's not on the weekends anymore, because people want their weekends back, which is absolutely fair. I can't blame them for that. But we did get kind of messed over with CC being on the weekend, so yeah, we got the bad end of that stick. Next up, we got Purple ISO. Where is it? I haven't had any in what feels like weeks now. I used to be able to rank up my DD8 characters every other day. Now I've got a surplus of ions and no ISO. Been stuck needing just 2 support ISOs to be able to start the villain node. Come on. And yeah, I think this is a big result of Battle World not being here currently. It is restarting back up, but Battle World did take a hiatus for over 2 months, if I'm not mistaken. I think this was back in like December when they decided to shut down Battle World. So we have not gotten any purple ISO from this. Now, we have been getting some purple ISO from the raid milestones that have been coming. So we got, it's not this one. Where was the raid milestones? I think it's this one here, that we've been getting a good amount of purple ISO from this. Yeah, you see the purple ISO towards the end here, and this is completable, free to play, as long as you're doing Orcus. I believe you only need to do like 50% Orcus daily, so not too bad at all. And you get some pretty good rewards. You get some ISO 8 and ions, but it is definitely a slow drip. And I think this all started when we had the delay of Battle World initially. And I think Battle World was going to be the initial way to get purple ISO and then unlock Odin as well, but that all had to change, and then Battle World came, and then Battle World left. And then we had no way of getting purple ISO pretty frequently. Now, you do have it in the war rewards as well, so that kind of incentivized you to push in war a little bit more. And if you were just, you know, in a gold alliance or a silver alliance, trying to push a little bit higher. The other issue is the Battle World store and getting this currency. And they even said in a blog, hey, we know Battle World's going away, but we're going to make sure you guys have plenty of Battle World currency to use. And holy hell, was that a lie, because I've been sitting at 205 Battle World currency for probably the last month. So false promises, once again, what a time to be alive. I guess it is what it is, but I don't know. It's crazy how they sit here and they make these promises, and then the envoys sit there and remind them of these promises like, hey, we still don't have Battle World currency. Hey, we're still missing this. Hey, we're still missing that. And then they still somehow screw the pooch, but it is what it is. And then last up, we're going to be talking about Phoenix Force have any uses at all. And I will say Phoenix Force is a formidable duo, and I think they're kind of akin to Undying on release, where they're pretty niche, but they have some pretty good uses, but they definitely need some help. So has anyone found a use, however niche, for this duo? Feels like they're a Cosmic Crucible team that's worse at Cosmic Crucible than most non-Crucible teams. Feels like every time I use them, the random other 3 characters I play swim with are carrying them because they never get a turn. Feels bad, man. And I wanted to show what I'm doing with Phoenix Force right now. I have them on defense in room number 5 because they spawn with Safeguard, they spawn with defense up, and then they spawn with immunity because of the room rules. So, and they've got a revive as well. So they're pretty gnarly on defense. You'll see Superior 6 did not do well into it. Phoenix was still full life, but she obviously was in Dark Phoenix mode, so it looks like she died, but she didn't. They had no chance of clearing this room at all. And the big thing about Phoenix Force is a lot of people are using them with this team here. So I will show you. This is going to be your 2 main teams that you use with Phoenix Force. And this is going to be a big thing trying to take out Odin Illuminati. Now, it will not one-shot Odin Illuminati, but it will take it down all the way to just Odin. And then you have a good cleanup after that. So you can use something like New Warriors if it's not in room 6. And you can clean up the team really well. So you've got Phoenix Force, Black Knight, Apocalypse, and Nightcrawler, a very, very formidable team, taking out some really, really strong teams. I have also heard that if they have Mephisto Orcus on defense, that you can use Nightcrawler, Old Man Logan, Kestrel, and Phoenix Force, and it does very well against the Mephisto Orcus. I don't know how well it'll do with just a 4-red Omega Red Phoenix Force, but it's an option. I've never seen it. I was just told that it works, and I'd be curious to see. So the big thing about Phoenix Force as well, especially Omega Red, he is very, very kit-based, especially when lower stars. So you got to remember, he's doing a lot on the back end that we're not seeing without those big stats. Like if his damage isn't doing stuff, guess what? His passive is still doing a lot of things. So you got to remember, his passive on spawn is applying Safeguard, like I said. In Crucible, after all other characters on spawn effects, applying Taunt to 2 protectors as well. And then if this character does not have any protector allies that gain Taunt from this passive, fill this character's speed bar by 20%. That's also really, really good if you're not going into an Illuminati team. And then in Crucible on enemy turn, gain 5% speed up to a maximum of 50%. And this is base speed that's going up every time an enemy takes a turn. So especially when you're going into Illuminati, they're taking a bunch of turns off rip, and he's getting 5% speed, 5% speed, 5% speed over and over and over again, but it does not stack with speed up. And then if this character has a Dark Phoenix or Phoenix ally, this character and all allies cannot gain trauma, and enemies cannot gain safeguard. So this alone is the equivalent of an APOC or an Ares passive to not allow them to gain safeguard, but also it doesn't allow your team, your entire team, not just Phoenix Force, to gain trauma as well. So that is absolutely massive. And then another big part of his passive, this character has any mythic enemies. Enemies cannot have their max health increased through passive abilities. And this is a big call out to APOC, because if APOC is there, obviously he's giving 20% health, I believe, with his passive, if I'm not mistaken. And then it's also, I think it's 20%. 20% max health, and he's also gaining 70% max health, so it's taking out both of those. And then if we look at Black Bolt here, Black Bolt passive is giving 50% health to Illuminati allies as well. So that negates that passive as well. So his passive does a lot that maybe his damage is not doing because you didn't break open that wallet. Then again, shame on you. Scopely wants you to spend. They made that kit very max health based and definitely stat dependent. So it's your own fault. How dare you not do it? But I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something about Phoenix Force. I hope it helps you guys out. Make sure you tune into my Cosmic Crucible videos. I have those very, very often, so you can see how and where to use Phoenix Force on offense, or maybe even on defense, and stump your opponents. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, this has been Duel 'em. Later, MSFers.